Hello viewers, this is Mazabin Firdaus, your host for Superbrands Bangladesh. I am here today with yet another episode of Superbrands Bangladesh. The objective of our show is to share the journey of the brands who have obtained Superbrands Bangladesh. In the next few episodes, we will be sharing glorious journey of the brands who have obtained Superbrands Bangladesh. In today's episode, we have got 3 super brands who are driving our nations with flexible finances, connectivity and flexibility of lifestyles. Our first brand of today is IPDC Finance. IPDC Finance is the most trusted financial brand in the country that goes beyond the bounds of financial frameworks to serve the customers with passion. The company added several financial services to provide a complete financial solution for different sectors and purposes. Our second brand of today is Grameenphone Ltd. Grameenphone caters to almost half the population of Bangladesh, providing them with connectivity and empowering them to do more and achieve more. The brand has become a trusted name with users of all backgrounds. Our third brand is Shwapno. Shwapno appeared in the market with a determined spirit to serve and protect its stakeholders. It is unwaveringly dedicated to its customers whom they seek to provide the high-quality products and services without raising the cost. Now, I would like to welcome Mr. Mominul, Managing Director and CEO, IPDC Finance Ltd. Then I would like to welcome Mr. Nafees Anwar Chowdhury, Head of Brand and Digital Marketing, Grameenphone Ltd. And our third guest is Mr. Sabbir Hasan Nasir, Executive Director, ACI Logistics Ltd. A very welcome to our show of Superbrands Bangladesh. First question to Mr. Mominul. The first private sector NBFI of the country journey started in 1981. Would you please share the journey, inception journey to us?
IPDC is a very iconic institution in the financial sector in Bangladesh.
Yes.
As you said, the journey started back in 1981. It is the oldest amongst all the bank and financial institutions in the private sector. The initial objective of the company was to promote private sector industrialization in the country. So the government of Bangladesh, along with 4 prestigious multilateral agencies, established IPDC first as a institutional venture capitalist institution and as well as later on in the plain vanilla debt product. So IPDC has played a very pivotal role in industrial landscape in Bangladesh. But in between, IPDC's growth got stagnated due to remaining non-responsive to the market opportunities which was changing very fast since 2000, as well as the competition coming from private sector bank. So there was a need for change in its strategy. So back in 2015, IPDC, we sat together to redefine the roadmap for IPDC in next 5 years. So from a purely corporate financing company, we diversified more into retail and SMEs, and we had a growth-led business plan. And what we did at that time, with the kind of business we'll be having, the earlier name Industrial Promotion and Development Company of Bangladesh Limited, remained a little bit archaic and not relevant to what we'll be doing. So we changed the name. We made it simply IPDC Finance Limited. With that also our brand theme, brand promise, brand slogan all got changed. So we made it more towards the customer's emotion. So we brought in Jago Chashe in Bangla, which means something like live unbound. So we talk more about the positivity in people's life, emotion. Our product and services got also changed. The target segment also, we brought in more youth and women into our, say, business operation. We are moving ahead with the new brand and new promise, and we see the market is responding to it in a very positive way.
Coming to Mr. Nafees about Grameenphone that caters almost half the population of the Bangladesh by providing them the strong network connectivity and now considered as the #1 network operator. So would you in short share the inception stories with us today?
Back in 1997, we felt there was a big, huge demand in the country to have a strong connectivity among the people. And being a telecom provider, we were here and initiated our village phone to rural women. That is how actually we took the telephony to the mass level.
Right.
And we strongly believe that a country's development is equally important when you have a strong communication among the people. So Grameenphone actually played that role there. And we want to provide the strongest network in the market. That's what our claim we always wanted to take, not by us, from the consumers as well. So বাংলাদেশের মানুষের কাছে গিয়ে বাংলাদেশের মানুষের জন্য কাজ করাটা গ্রামীণফোনের মূল হিসাবে কাজ ছিল। 3G came, so it was a huge leap for the internet users. We were here to widespread make it absolutely to the country. Same for 4G. So this is an ongoing process. Going forward, it will be 5G, new technologies will be arriving, and we are also improving every day.
Coming to Mr. Sabbir, about the Shwapno started its journey in 2008 with a mission to connect customers with producers. So what actually motivated ACI to start the retail chain?
You know, ACI's, I would say, vision is to enrich the life of Bangladeshi consumers and Bangladeshi people. So the idea was to connect the farmers with the consumers, because in agribusiness, we already sell the inputs to the farmers, like the seeds, feeds, fertilizers, pesticides. And then idea was to eliminate the intermediaries. Why can't we connect straight the farmers with the consumers? In 2008, the name was Fresh and Near. But then it turned into Shwapno. Why Shwapno? Because ACI thought that it captures all the stakeholders here, the employees, the farmers, the growers, and the logistic partners, and the consumers. And we can improve the value chain efficiency. And probably we can be the enabler for fulfilling all the dreams of Bangladeshi consumers and farmers at the same time. Right now, almost 35% of our fresh produce is coming straight from the farmers.
True.
And it's increasing every year.
Second question, I'm sure there's a lot of innovations are going on and planning for a lot of more in the coming years. So would you please share some with us today?
Innovation remains one of the core principles for IPDC in its new strategy. So what we see, the market is changing, and the technological ecosystem in Bangladesh as well as globally it is changing. So what IPDC is trying to do to bring in the technological capability in its service delivery to make sure we go to the previously untapped market who remained totally outside the periphery of the financial inclusion, as well as to make sure for the existing customers this is more affordable, faster, and more responsive and customized to their demand. So it's a more customer-centric model. To do that, what we thought, in case we can really build a digital platform, bringing in the corporates, their supplier and distributors, and the financial partners on a digital platform that can really facilitate this supply chain finance in a more cost-effective and faster manner. So we partnered with IBM, and we are building the first ever blockchain technology for local supply chain financing, and that should come in couple of months live. Then we are also working with the support from DFID for the micro merchant financing. That is a big segment in Bangladesh, but it still remains outside the periphery of the formal financing in Bangladesh. So there also we are trying to partner with large FMCGs or pharmaceutical companies and their distributors, how we can really move downstream towards the small retailers who remains the closest to the consumers. So this way we are trying to really support the SME segment and the young entrepreneurs of the country.
Coming back to the same kind of a question to Mr. Nafees about, we have seen a lot of innovations from Grameenphone House. So would you please share some of those with us today?
4G is the latest technology of high-speed internet. So we have launched it. In fact, we were the first to launch in Bangladesh. Soon we received the license from the PTRC and the government. And people's expectation plus standing out with our standard, we could provide the highest speed in the nation as well. And likely we received an acknowledgement from Ookla, which is a globally speed test app. In overall Bangladesh, Grameenphone was leading in the providing the speeds for the year 2018. Grameenphone has a video on demand platform that is called Bioscope. So there you can watch the live television, there you can watch different movies, dramas through high-speed internet in HD quality. Same thing for music. People are searching billions of things on internet now. So we are actually the enabler for the people who can use internet for different purposes. There are thousands of startups are coming and they need good connectivity. There are people who are sitting back in Bangladesh and working and developing other countries' infrastructure as well through outsourced works. And that is where your connectivity plays a big role. If I just mention another thing, MyGP. It's an app used by the GP users. Now you don't need to go to any retail shop to make avail different sort of a service. You can just, it's one click away. We are working with different partners as well, so that our customers get best internet services as well as they can have best usage out of it. So this is a combined effort. Every day we are working.
To Mr. Sabbir, regarding the same innovations, you have the business started with a kind of connecting dots to the fresh vegetables or fresh products directly from the farmers. So that is one kind of innovation that has been done. And I'm sure that every day you are doing a lot more. So would you please share those with us today?
We have our e-commerce launch just 1 year ago, and it's still in the beta version just to know how the consumers are reacting here. We got a BI tool where we can capture the consumer insights, and we got a strong data science team who actually create different data models to understand consumers' behavior, and they set the pricing strategy, promotion strategy, category strategy out of it. Chowdhury, there is a project we have where we actually introduce the global gap principles in the farming so that we can actually establish the traceability across the value chain. By that I mean, consumers know where this crop came from, which farmer actually grew it, which pesticides moved inside it, did it maintain the PHI level. We are putting AI technology and AR technology where you can actually put your phone and you can, through the facial technology or recognition of the product, you can see that these crops came from that farm. So I think by June this will be launched in all Shwapno stores. Every year the store design changes. How it came from, we map the customer journey, consumer journey, and we get a lot of CCTV data analytics, heat maps, and then we design that way. But we run a lot of experiments every month, at least 100 experiments every month.
IPDC Finance is close to 40 years company, so it has come a long way. So would you please share the journey towards success?
For IPDC, it was always how we can really remain relevant to the socio-economic development of the country. Initially, after its independence, Bangladesh remained in a very precarious position that our industrial infrastructure was completely shattered. At that moment, the government, the public banks were not adequate to support the private sector promoters to really bring in the new industries, to have the production system built in Bangladesh. So for IPDC, this was time to support the new entrepreneurs, giving them the capital, building a bridge between the global technology know-how partners and local entrepreneurs, bringing new ideas to the country. We were the sponsor shareholder of the first leasing company of Bangladesh that is currently known as IDLC, in collaboration with IFC, and many more industrial undertakings. Those were the say milestone projects for Bangladesh were done by IPDC. Later on, we saw that there is need of product innovation. So the first securitization of receivables in Bangladesh were done by IPDC back in 2004, or the first preference share or first financing to the independent power plant. So those came along in Bangladesh due to IPDC, and later on others pick up, including the commercial banks. We are trying to give the financing to the say lower middle income families across the country to build a dream home on their ancestral or newly bought land, and that is making sense to the millions of the life of this country.
Coming to Mr. Nafees about the success stories, Grameenphone established itself on Independence Day last March 26, 1997, and it has come a very long way. So in short, would you please share the success stories?
The journey is 22 years, but currently to be with 72 million plus customers, it gives us a huge responsibility. Connectivity is something you are connecting people's emotion to each other. A mother back in village talking with his son in the city. A son who is working day and night in a city and talking with his or her family abroad. So these are all actually giving you emotional attachment as well. Grameenphone always thought its customers' need. It brought different services, be it a prepaid service, be it a postpaid service for its convenience of billing, be it different payment services like bill pay, having through a mobile connection, and millions of services we have launched in entertainment side, in regular basis health related side. So it is more of a journey from a customer's point of view, rather I would say. We always try to look at how a customer can avail our services and get the best out of it.
Coming to Mr. Sabbir about the journey towards the success, some of the insights would you please share in short?
I really don't think that we are successful because success is a moving object.
Right.
So you just have to keep doing better and better every single day. I would say the biggest driver for Shwapno is a passion to serve the customers and acknowledgement of the fact that we make mistakes and our customers have got a voice which we have to listen to. So we try to find ways to know where we were wrong yesterday, and we start correcting ourselves. So I would say appreciating our mistakes and being more relevant to satisfy better every single day is the mantra of Shwapno, and that probably brought us here. But we are not really satisfied, and we want to be flawless, which is kind of utopia, which you can never be. But that's like something we're striving for every day. That's one. And second is, I would say, relevance. We actually know how the consumers evolve and how they thought and how they think now. You know that modern trade or supermarket is very new in Bangladesh. So we realize that still they're sticking to the wet market, and we got to make the migration happen. Now, how we did it? By bringing sometimes live chicken, live fish, which is like a disruption. You know, many people say that, I mean, this is crazy. Some people actually could find the relevance, or probably this is something I have seen. My grandfather also has seen in the wet market, and now it's here, and now they're actually turning that into probably the chilled one, and that's more safer. Some are already aware. Some consumers are very aware, and they're early adopters, but some are not. So as a retailer or as a brand, you also have got responsibility to make them aware. So that relevance also probably is one of the driving factor or success factor.
Coming to my favorite question about the super brand itself, the title, the significance to the title to brand IPDC. Would you please share?
I think the recognition as super brand help us to really gain or validate our promise to our depositors that yes, this is an organization with integrity, transparency and quality. So we see that already being reflected in our financials. Even in last year, in a very challenging year for financial sector, IPDC has registered 50% plus revenue growth because of the kind of trust our customers are having with us. So definitely we feel that the recognition, the award as super brands in the financial sector, you know, IPDC is the first non-banking financial institution which has received this acknowledgement. So definitely that helps us to really.
In the coming times, it will have more.
Yeah, of course, this is just a beginning. So hopefully, with the passage of time, we will generate further more benefit out of this recognition.
Coming to Mr. Nafees about the Superbrands title to Grameenphone, what advantage it is bringing to Grameenphone?
Any sort of an acknowledgement boosts your confidence as well. Being part of Grameenphone, this sort of rewards or acknowledgement always helps you to show you the right path, or at least somewhat we are into the right direction.
True.
These awards or rewards are a reflection of customer satisfaction as well. So people are trusting us every day, sticking with us every now and then, and this sort of acknowledgement will give them a reassurance as well that what it takes to become a good brand in the country. Connecting with people, getting this sort of awards will always help you to move ahead further in your coming days.
The last question to Mr. Sabbir about the Superbrands title to the brand Shwapno. What benefits or what the significance it is going to have with the title?
First is it give an excuse to thank our customers again.
Yes.
So we put it probably on Daily Store and Prothomalo, and we say thank you. And then second is with recognition comes responsibility. So we got to know that as we are being appreciated, we should not be complacent, and we should try harder to serve better. So that's second. And third is, yes, to the investor community, it helps, you know, if we portray that for last 2 years, we are the #1 brand, and also Superbrand gave us this recognition. That helps to attract new investors as well.
Thank you so very much, three of you, for giving us time from your valuable schedule and also sharing the meaningful stories that all three of brands are creating in the customers' lifestyles. Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers. That is it for today's episode with IPDC Finance, Grameenphone Ltd and Shwapno. I'll be present in the next episode with more brands who are super brands and also very near to us. Till then, take care.